Hello, YouTube. This is Chelsea the Destroyer. We're gonna watch some more Rslash. This person threw their wedding ring in the ocean for prank, which is a decision that I guess you can make. I'm gonna be honest with you. I like other people's drama. I like other people's tea. I just, I don't like being involved in it, but like, God, I love hearing about it. Welcome back home, Kumo. Anyway, grab your snackies, grab your bevies, and let's hear about other people's problems. Always a good time.
Welcome to r/Am I the Butthole, where
I got
OP
cookies,
throws her wedding ring into the ocean over a prank. Am I the butthole for throwing my wedding rings in the ocean after my husband told me that he had an affair, even though it was a prank?
Listen. Okay. Here's a thing legally about like wedding rings. Okay, it doesn't matter where that wedding ring comes from. It does not matter if that wedding ring was passed down through your fiance's family for 6 generations, 30 generations. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay. Once they give it to you, if you do not sign a contract saying that you have to give it back, that was a gift to you, which means you can sell it. Just saying.
This is the dumbest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. This past Sunday.
Also, I don't like pranks. Like, usually I feel like pranks are pretty mean-spirited. I'm not a fan of pranks. Maybe I'm just like a buzzkill. Sorry, I'm eating cookies, but maybe I'm a buzzkill or some shit, but like, I hate that shit, Not a fan. Hey, Mako.
Hey, my husband and I were in a boat together. He's 29 and I'm 27. We were just relaxed.
Y'all were just in a boat. That was your first red flag. Y'all just in a boat somewhere? Together, I guess, alone? I don't know. Hey, Dalton.
Talking, and having a good time. All of a sudden, my husband gets really serious and tells me, "Baby, I'm so sorry, but I have to tell you something. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I had an affair." For context, my husband thinks that he's a comedian. He says dumb stuff all the time, but he's never joked about our marriage or relationship or cheating, ever. The way he said it, I fully believed him. I was blinded by rage and hurt, and I'm not a confrontational person at all. So all I did was stand up, take my rings off, and throw them into the ocean. I don't even know why I did it. It was just the first thing that I thought of doing.
Like, damn. Like, you never getting those back. They are gone. Like, damn.
My husband's jaw hit the floor. He immediately started to yell at me that it was a joke, a prank, he wasn't
just
serious,
like your marriage
and
girlfriend.
that I was an idiot. Then my jaw dropped too. I yelled at him and called him an idiot. I cried, realizing that I just threw my lovely and sentimental rings into the ocean. We've been arguing for days. He says that I'm the butthole, I say that he's the butthole, and I have no idea who's right.
Why? Like, something like that is not cute to joke about. Like, okay. Have y'all seen that prank on TikTok where it's like women trying to take the men's phone, and it's almost always when they have food? And so it's like, women will go and try to take their like boyfriend's or husband's like phone, and they immediately snatch up whatever snack they're eating, and they're like, "No, you said you didn't want any." That is cute. Okay, but also we almost always only see the ones that are like, "Sure, take my phone. I don't give a shit. You can't have my Snickers." Like, like I think that's cute. The reactions, but also like I feel like a lot of people are gonna go into this with like the thought of like, oh, it'll be a cute little video, and then like your significant other gets mad at you because they feel like it's an invasion of privacy, whether they have anything to hide or not, like whatever. Also, I'm just like, can you unlock their phone? Like, can you though? Like, I don't know. But, like, I'm also kind of like, the ones that we see are cute, But I'm sure there's a lot that we don't see where like they start fighting or it's an invasion of privacy thing, which is like valid. Like I've got some shit I don't want people seeing that, I mean, it's not on my phone. It's in my browser history. But like, don't fucking read over my shoulder or look at my Twitter. Thanks. I've curated that shit. Anyway, like, joking about having an affair where you were being like serious, like, oh, please forgive me, I've had an affair. That shit ain't cute, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you actively trying to like hurt your relationship, you know? Like, I just don't get it. Why? Why do you think that's cute? Why do you think hurting someone's feelings is cute? Because that's what it is at the end of the day. You're like, oh, I'll play this prank and it'll hurt her feelings and it'll be funny. Why is that funny to you? I legitimately don't understand. Why is that funny to you? Why is hurting your significant other funny? I don't get it.
Right. Yeah, admittedly, I threw about $10,000 worth of rings into the ocean and will never find them again. But he looked me in my eyes and told me that he had an affair. I'm upset about my rings. I've apologized for throwing them, but I just don't feel like the butthole.
No. He put you out on a boat in the middle of the fucking ocean and told you he had an affair. He should be glad that you didn't try to fucking murder him and dump his body or some shit. Like what is that? I don't understand.
Love this top comment from the Ghost Reborn, who really gets to the heart of the issue. If someone lies to you about your child being killed in a car accident, then later tells you that it's just a joke, that doesn't change the traumatic experience you just had of believing your child is dead. Making someone experience trauma isn't a prank, it's engaging in cruelty for your own amusement. I agree. OP, your husband isn't a comedian, he's just mean. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes.
I feel like so often pranks are just mean-spirited, and I don't understand. Like, I don't understand how we got to this point where it's just like every prank is just mean and mean-spirited and like aiming to hurt somebody in some way, like mentally or whatever, emotionally, etc. Prank should be like, you want some water? Here's some water, and I put Kool-Aid in it. So you sip it thinking you're just going to get water, and suddenly it's purple. Like, you know? Or like, you want a Coke? Here's a Coke. It's actually Pepsi. I don't know. Like, something like that's not super mean. Like, yeah. Being an asshole is not a prank. It is just you being an asshole. Like, here, I sprinkled some sugar on this piece of bread. You want it? It's actually salt. Just kidding. You know, here's something to wash it out of your mouth. Like, something. I don't know. Something relatively... That thing with, like, the whipped cream in the hand and making your, like, tickling your nose so you smack yourself in the face with whipped cream. You know? Like, it's nothing painful, nothing harmful, nothing that's... I think, like, okay, you know, like, those, in some sinks, because sometimes they have them built in now, but, like, that little, like, extra sprayer with the little handle so you can spray your dishes off or whatever. I've got an old sink, so... my sister would wrap rubber bands around it. That was the same color as the sprayer, still black at the time. And so my grandmother and my mom would turn on the sink and just get sprayed with the sprayer instead because it was always pointed at them. Like, that's kind of funny. That doesn't hurt anything. They just got sprayed with some water. In their own house. Like, you know? Jesus.
I'm giving your husband 2 out of 5 buttholes.
He deserves
more than 2 out of 5. I will admit that
5.
throwing your rings into the ocean is a pretty extreme reaction, but, I mean, is it extreme in the face of cheating? I don't really think so. Am I the butthole for telling my husband that his affair child is not welcome in our home, and if he wants custody, he'll have to move out? My husband and I have been married for 9 years. In 2021, we found out that my husband was being sued for child support. Turns out my husband had an affair shortly after we were married.
Bro!
It nearly ended our marriage. But we went to counseling together, and I agreed to stay in the marriage with the following provisions.
Okay.
My husband was to get a second job so that his child support payments didn't affect our household budget. And that at no point in time would I ever consider having a relationship with this child. If he wanted to pursue a relationship, then fine. But I have absolutely zero interest in this kid. So my husband's been getting to know his kid over the past couple of years, and recently my husband came to me and informed me that there was some sort of baby mama drama. Apparently, she has to self-surrender her child in May and is going to be incarcerated for 8 months.
Holy
my
shit.
husband told me that he needed to take custody while his affair partner is locked up. Otherwise, the kid would have to go to their grandparents, who basically live on the opposite coast from us. His kid doesn't want to have to change schools and be so far away from his friends and family. So after my husband told me that, I got up and left the house. I went to the grocery store on the corner and grabbed a copy of our area's apartment guide and went back home and handed it to him. He asked me if I was serious. I told him.
Listen, y'all had an agreement. And, like, this isn't the little kid's fault, but, like, also, I don't think putting a little kid in a situation where, like, they might not be looked upon very favorably about one of the people in the house is also healthy. Because, like, I doubt this woman is blaming the kid, right? Like, she doesn't like that the kid exists, but it's her husband's fault. But, like, she's not going to look favorably on that child, right? Like, oh, yes, a reminder of my husband's infidelity as soon as we got married. Great, don't want this in my house. And that kind of sucks, but, like, if they stayed in the relationship and it was like, here are my terms, you can take them or leave them, and he took them, this is kind of like, I don't know. There's, like, a whole thing. It's like, oh, you'll change your mind later. Don't expect people to change their minds. Like, sometimes people do change their minds about things, but you shouldn't be banking on it, you know?
That I still felt the same way that I did 3 years ago. He said that he didn't think that was fair considering the extenuating circumstances.
That's not her
I told him,
extenuating
I don't
circumstances.
care about the circumstances. His affair kid is not welcome in my home. If he wants to take custody, I'll grant him an amicable divorce, but I am not changing my mind. I'm not taking care of some other chick's kid. OP, I support you in this decision, but I support you in the sense that, like, you should have made this decision years ago. Your husband had a kid with a mistress. Why would you want to stick around after that? So, OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your husband 3.5 out of 5 buttholes. Your husband's...
Yeah. I mean, the fact that she's like, you want to take custody of the kid? All right, we're going to divorce. That was the agreement. We're going to divorce. It's not going to be super nasty because, like, we're going to agree on it. Get out of my house. Yeah.
Sucks majorly for the cheating, but I will give him credit. At least he's stepping up as a dad. Man, I feel really sorry for the kid. His mom is in prison and his dad can't even spend time with him. Rough. Am I the butthole for calling off my wedding and telling my fiance to move back home with mommy? I was mean when I said it. He was crying.
It was mean when I said, all right.
For 7 years, and we've been engaged for 3 years. We've tried to do a save the date 4 times now, and every single time his mom convinces him to postpone.
Excuse me? I'm sorry? What? You have been with this man for 7 years. And for the past 3 years, you've been engaged. And you have tried to set your wedding date 4 fucking times. And his mother convinces him to postpone the wedding just indefinitely every fucking time. And you are still engaged to this man.
It's always, well, don't you think you have bigger things to worry about? Whether it be our living situation, we're renting, and she thinks that we should buy first because we aren't stable.
In this economy and housing market? I'm sorry? Ma'am, are you just telling us to wait until you fucking kick the bucket and we get your house? In this housing market?
Or our money situation. This was her excuse after we loaned her $8,000 so she didn't lose her house, but we still have plenty of money because my husband's a nurse and I'm a lawyer.
Y'all had to loan this woman $8,000 so she could keep her house. Ma'am, that's about to be my fucking house. Like, if I'm having to save your ass so you don't lose at your fucking house and you're talking shit about where I'm living, I'm not at risk for losing my house.
It's just always something.
Oh, so she's a
planned
lawyer?
For a family gathering in my mom's backyard. She has 3 acres and a beautiful pond, and it's just perfect. We're doing a potluck, so a very low-cost wedding. Plus, everyone we know lives within an hour of the location, so only giving a month or 2 notice is perfectly acceptable in our case.
Sure,
With all this said, his mom has 0 reason to try to sway us against it. Her newest argument is that we need to wait until our daughter is at least 3 so that she...
Oh, and y'all have a kid. She has postponed it so many times, and y'all currently have a kid. What is this?
She can be our flower girl. She's currently 7 months old. Well,
someone can walk her down the aisle as the flower girl, you know? Someone could just hold that baby and walk that baby down the aisle while scattering occasional petals. What?
Well, in December, my husband and I talked, and we decided that we wanted to get married in August.
Okay.
I told him, don't let your mom dictate this. And he said that he wouldn't, and that he was tired of listening to her. Fair enough.
Doubtful.
But last weekend, my mother and his mother both came over for dinner, and I was talking to my mom about what dress I wanted her to wear as the matron of honor. My fiance's mom asked when we planned to tell her what we decided on a date, and my husband said, when we told everyone else. She just said, oh, and got quiet and left maybe 20 minutes later. He had already made plans to go over after dinner to help her with something, so he left shortly after that, and I drank some wine with my mom. When he got back, he was super quiet.
Of course he was.
He was just tired and went to bed.
No.
But last night, he just randomly said, my mom kinda has a point. Maybe we should just wait until we buy a house so that our living situation is a bit more stable. She's not wrong in saying that we should be worried about our house. I just went silent and didn't comment because I was pissed off. He kept making comments.
Baby doll, if you just don't take that ring off and slide it across the table, or even better, just tell him to get out of your house, the wedding's off, and you're selling the ring to help you finance your future house that you may or may not want.
It's like, it'll only be a couple of years.
5 years? 5 years? Y'all have a kid already. Y'all have been engaged for 3 years, and we're dating for 4 before that. But you want her to wait another 5 years with a mother, not even mother-in-law, but like, you know, with your mother constantly putting it off. What is the next fucking thing? What is the next fucking thing?
The most. I just took my ring off, handed it to him, and said that I was no longer interested. He immediately started protesting, trying to put the ring back on my finger, but I just wouldn't let him. I said that I was no longer interested in marrying him, and maybe he should move back home with mommy. Because I know for a fact that that woman will make up another excuse the second that we buy a house.
Yep.
And I'm really just...
The house is just what she has on her mind now. She's gonna make another fucking excuse. As soon as you have a house, there's going to be something else. You need to save more. You need to save more money. You're not making enough money. Or, like, you should save for your daughter's college or some shit. It's going to be something. Don't you need a new car? Don't you need this? Something. Always. Absolutely not. Be like, cool, well, that's fine. I'm not interested because I'm not interested in marrying your fucking mother.
So turned off at the thought of marrying him at this point because I have zero business being with a man who has no backbone and would put our lives on hold in favor of a woman who still wants to scrub his back in the shower. What? To clarify, no, she hasn't said that she wants to scrub his back in the shower, but she often talks about how she had to help him shower for months when he was 16 because he broke his leg. And as the story goes...
Is this one of the situations where she's like a single mother and so she is kind of projecting onto her son in like a creepy way? It's like the reverse Oedipus complex or whatever. These things exist. Like in this, it's something that happens with single parents, that they impress upon their children to be the missing parent, kind of, almost. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not healthy.
He told her that he didn't want her help, but she forced it because she's effing weird. And it's even weirder that she still talks about it like it was a fond memory to see her 16-year-old boy.
Careless Whisper was DMCA'd. It fucked up a lot of my YouTube videos.
Boy, naked. Yo, I was not expecting that. That is weird. Okay. He was crying at this point, and I was incredibly calm.
I'm stupid calm.
Because I'm over it. And I told him I wanted him to leave, or I could leave. But those were the only options. He ended up leaving, sobbing the entire time. I do feel bad. I feel gutted. He means everything to me.
You're allowed to be exhausted about this situation.
Am I the butthole? His mom has been blowing up my phone with texts, trying to plead her case, and I just texted back and said, no, it's fine. You won. Now you can have your baby boy back full time, and I blocked her number. My friends think that I am wildly overreacting. All right.
Nah, man, if your significant other's letting their... Okay. I understand that there are definitely, like, parents that are like, I do not approve of your significant other, okay? Like, okay. That is a thing. I'm not saying that they're wildly out of left field and they have no ground to stand on. Not saying that. Sometimes, you know, the person that you're dating isn't good for you. You know, people outside of your relationship can maybe see some red flags that you don't see, or... you know, whatever, right? 7 fucking years and they have a child. That is ridiculous. Like, if you have, like, a significant other who's not willing to stand up against their parents at all, then they probably were in a toxic relationship and they need to get away from that parent, right? Like, and that is also hard to do, right? Because it's gonna require, like, you gotta move away from them. But even then, you know, they're gonna be calling like, I need you to come back and help me because I hurt myself, or this is a problem and I need your help. That, I don't know, man. Like, the fact that your fiance is refusing to do anything other than just agree with the mother. Y'all have a fucking kid. You have a kid. Like, what? I also feel like, yeah, like, you should... There's definitely a lot of people that, like, marry someone and then their in-laws are just fucking problems. And that's like a story that you hear a lot, right? And I'm like, does your significant other not stand up to their parents for you? Why? They chose you. They didn't choose their parents. They chose you. Why are they not sticking up for you? I don't understand. Like, it's one thing if it's like, well, I still live with my parents or my parents still pay their bills. If you're a whole ass adult, which means like you're done. Like, you're fully grown, your brain's matured, your parents pay for absolutely nothing. Like, you're paying your own damn bills. All that shit. Stand up to your parents, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you're just... And maybe, you know, again, I feel like there's, like, maybe something slightly wrong with my brain. I know I have attachment trauma. So that is a thing that I have. So I view relationships a lot differently than I feel like other people do, because I do have that problem that makes me kind of disconnected from a lot of people. I almost left my family once. After a death in the family, things kind of came out and spiraled and all kinds of other shit. I'd do it again. Like, I don't know. Like, if you get pushed too far, just be like, cool, no contact it is. Or, like, you know? But again, like, I know there's, like, that is unheard of in a lot of cultures, and, like, I get that. But I don't know, man. This is America. Anyway.
This post is kind of confusing to me because I don't really understand why all the concern about getting married, just like, oh, we have to do this first, we have to do that first. The situation has to be absolutely...
No, that's just the bullshit the mom is saying. Because the mom is probably harassing the shit out of her son about how her son shouldn't get married to this woman. And she's trying to give legitimate excuses that he can then go and tell his fiance and their friends and society and like all that kind of other shit, right? But she's putting a lot of pressure on her son so that he doesn't get married.
Perfect, because in
Therapy.
my mind, I mean, this is coming from someone who's married and has a kid. Having a kid with someone is 10 times more of a commitment, a bigger deal, more intimate, more conjoining of lives than getting married is. So if you two already have a 7-month-old together, then getting married should be easy peasy. Man, this sounds like one of those really inappropriate, pseudo-creepy relationships where the mom basically has a crush on her son, and she's...
That's what I was fucking saying, the reverse Oedipus complex. Like, that's what I was trying to talk about.
Sort of treats her son as like a substitute husband, and the son just goes along with it because he's been treated this way his entire life and he doesn't have a backbone. So, OP, you are 1,000,000% justified. I'm surprised you lasted this long. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your fiance, let's say 2.5 out of 5 buttholes for being a wuss, and I'm giving his mom 3.5 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for cutting my parents out of my life after my parents confessed last Christmas that my sister was the product of my mother's affair? I'm a 19-year-old guy, and I was always treated as the golden child of the family. Lavish birthdays, lavish gifts, lavish everything. I liked the attention initially when I was a child, but as I grew older, I grew more and more sympathetic to how my parents treated my sister, who's 18. I never understood it. Initially, I thought that it was because I was a boy and she was a girl, and maybe my parents were sexist. It wasn't that they treated her badly, it's just that she was a complete afterthought, and as I grew older, that hurt me a lot. I started working part-time jobs at 14, and started saving up money to get her birthday gifts. Oh, that's so sweet!
That is really nice.
It wasn't much, but I had thought and effort, something that my parents lacked. It was pretty obvious that my parents were the biggest cause of my sister's self-esteem issues. They always talked about how smart I was, how I was destined for big things, and they bragged about it to other friends and extended family. But they hardly ever praised my...
This feels really weird. Maybe it shouldn't. Because I would feel like, right, that like the dad doing this makes sense, and the wife maybe just being, or the mom just being quiet, to me makes sense. But the fact that the mom is also doing this feels like extra gross. Like, you know? Like, I don't know.
Sister. I was pretty fed up with it all. And after graduating high school, I rejected an offer to go to an Ivy League because I didn't want my parents to help pay for my college education. I did get acceptance into a decent university, which offered me a full ride scholarship, and I accepted that. A year later, my sister also got accepted into the same university with almost a full ride scholarship. 4 months ago, we were at our parents' house for the Christmas holidays, and my parents confessed that my sister was the product of my mother's affair.
Why are you just bringing that up over Christmas? Like, why is this like, all right, we're all here at the dinner table. She's now 18 and an adult. Let's get it over with, everybody. Like, what the fuck?
They straight up said that they'll never love her, that she was a mistake, and that they wanted nothing to do with her anymore now that she was 18.
That's why.
It was
oh my
shocking.
God.
My sister was obviously devastated.
Holy shit.
My sister and I immediately left the next day. Before leaving, I told my parents that they were dead to me, and I wanted nothing to do with them anymore.
If you cannot love the child, you should not, I think, have the child. And what I mean is, like,
fuck this shit, I'm out.
Like, I hate to say it, you know, adoption agencies, something. Because there's plenty of people out there that have the capability of loving a child that did not come out of their parts. The fact that the mother is saying, you were a mistake, I will never love you, is really fucked up. Like, it's not okay. And everyone involved needs therapy. And just doing this now, it's like, it's Christmas, but you're 18, you're an adult. I no longer have to deal with you, and this is why we treated you the way we did this whole time. That's pretty fucked up. Like, that's not okay. Also, I don't think... Yeah, God, this is gonna get me comments. I don't think... So there's like this whole argument, right, about how, like, if your only ability to love a child is the child has to be blood related to you, had to come from your parts, etc., then maybe it's not that you want children. You know, you just want this thought of legacy, or you want, like a clone of yourself or whatever that you can impart a vision on or something like that. It's less about the child, and you probably lack the ability to have a thought of, like, this is a whole human being that's going to have their own experiences, that's going to mold them in a completely different way than your past molded you, because it's, you know, a different time with different technology and different, you know, problems, etc. And your child is never going to be a clone of you. It's not going to live up to the specific dreams that you have necessarily, and you shouldn't put your child through that kind of trauma anyway. Yeah, so, like, you know, I didn't get to be a doctor, but my child is going to be a doctor because that's what I wanted to be, and I want to live through my child's life. Like, don't do that. Like, your child is going to be their own human being with their own interests and their own, you know, passions and abilities, etc. So this is upsetting to me. Like the situation is very upsetting to me, because it's also like the child was a mistake, I guess, made by the woman. The child had nothing to do with it. The child is a product of the mistake that a woman made, right? Like, the mom made a mistake by being an adulterer, cheating on her husband. That led to a child. And so they just kind of neglect the child for 18 years. And then it's just like, cool, we don't want you anymore. That's not okay. That's really kind of fucked up, I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't like that.
I seriously hated them. I'm not even sure why my mom was even crying. Anyways, it's been 3 months. My sister and I have both taken a break from college for 1 semester. My sister is struggling extremely hard, but we've moved in together and it's gotten better the last couple of weeks, and she's also started therapy last week. I will never contact my parents again in spite of all they did for me. I am dead set on that. But I wonder, am I the butthole? Down in the comments, I really like this comment from Nigel Powell. Mom and Dad, we hate her. Son, well, I hate you. Mom and Dad, how could you say that? Yo, if two parents straight up confess that they don't love their child and they always secretly despise their child, I don't think I could ever look at those people the same way again.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
pretty
even know
messed
if
up.
I'd be capable, like physically capable of ever seeing them in a respectful way, like ever seeing them as anything less than scum. But then for those to be my own parents, yo, I'm with you, OP. I don't even know how I could look them in the eyes after that confession.
Hello, Karaoke. How's it going?
And based on the story, it sounds like OP and his sister are super close now. It's kind of hard to say because all we really know is that OP felt sorry for her and he, worked jobs for her, which is super, super sweet, and that they moved in together. But we don't really know too much about their dynamic. Actually, let's check the comments, see if he says. No other comments, unfortunately. So yeah, anyways, they sound super close, and I just don't understand how OP could ever treat people with respect after they disrespected his sister that badly.
Also, I just don't understand. You don't have to make, you don't have to say anything. Is the other thing. Like if you're like, okay, I'm going to take care of this kid, but I don't have the capacity to love this child. Right? Okay. But you don't have to be cruel to that child. And you don't have to at Christmas with people be like, hi, so this child was a mistake, is a product of an affair. We don't love it. We will never love it. And we don't want anything else to do with it now that it's an adult. You don't ever have to do something like that. Like, that's... I'm like, you could have just... Yeah, no, they wanted to wash their hands of her. Like, they legitimately wanted to be like, cool, you're not our kid. I mean, you're kind of your mom's kid, but, like, you're not really our kid. We don't love you. We don't ever want to see you again. We don't want anything to do with you. You're an adult. Go away. Now we don't have societal pressure because, like, you're an adult, so go away. That's kind of what they wanted, right? But, like, you decided that you're going to raise her for 18 years at that point. There is something to say about being, like, truthful, being like, hi, so I'm letting you know you're not my daughter, like, as the dad. But, like, there's better ways to go about that. And the fact that you raised them for 18 years and don't feel at all any type of connection to this child in which you care about them is really fucked up. Like, that's really messed up. I don't know. Oh, my God.
OP, your parents are scum. I'm giving you and your sister 0 out of 5 buttholes.
They are
I'm
scum.
giving your disgusting parents 4 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for breaking up with my partner after they won big and kept it all? Me and this partner had this deal where I'd chip in $20 a month for their gambling hobby. I thought that it was this fun little support thing. Fast
They play on
forward and they actually win big, like new car big. But when I hinted at maybe celebrating or planning together, something small, mind you, they went all, my win, my money. I tried explaining that my contributions were in the spirit of partnership, not investment. That did not fly. They insisted that what I gave them was just support, not a stake in any potential win.
So you said gambling hobby. This seems like it's a problem. Like, I'm already telling you, you're not the asshole for leaving because this doesn't seem like a gambling hobby. This seems like it's becoming a problem, if it is not already a problem.
That felt pretty cold, not gonna lie. I decided to end things because this felt like a huge red flag about our future. Their reaction, not great.
Mm-hmm.
They accuse me of only being with them for the money, which is rich, pun intended, considering the timing. And, their friends and family have taken up the choir singing Gold Digger at me.
Are you serious?
My stance was about feeling like we're not...
Be like, excuse me, I've given him $20 to do this all the time. What?
Not really a team.
Like, if you're gonna gamble, like, okay, I'll give you. When I go to Tennessee and Georgia, I have a habit of just buying a lottery ticket when I get gas. Because I'm gonna get gas while I'm there, right? Because I have to drive over there and then drive back. So I'm gonna get gas at least once while I'm there. And I will buy a lottery ticket because, like, I don't think I'm going to win. Like, it's like $2, right? It's like a $2 lotto ticket. And I'm not going to win anything. But it's just like, you know, this fun little thing to do. And I'm not there that often. I go to, like, Tennessee, like, what, once a year? Maybe? So it's just like, you know, I'm not buying lottery tickets every week. Or every month even. I'm just doing it like occasionally. Okay? And it's just like, whatever. There have definitely been times that I drive through Georgia and don't buy one. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to go inside. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to go inside and go up to the counter and ask for one. Like, I'm just going to pump or pay at the pump and I'm just going to leave. Like, I'm tired. I want to go home. Like, but this is just, you should never, I don't know, people that like gamble and like, I'm going to win a whole lot of money. No, you're fucking not. It's stacked against you. You're not going to win. Like, you're throwing money away and like, it's fine. Like, you know, it's like how you play gotcha games where you're like, you know, it's like gotcha games. I'm going to pay for these gems and then I'm going to use the gems to pay for pools and hope I get the character that I want in a game that I might not be playing in 2 years. You know, whatever. Who cares? Are you having fun? Good for you. Like, if you have the money for it and you're being responsible, whatever. But, like, this is a fucking problem. Like, this is just a problem.
But to them, I'm the villain who bailed at the first sign of fortune. So here I am, wondering if I'm the butthole for walking away from a relationship where I felt sidelined the moment real money came into the picture. OP, let me tell you a quick story. When I started my very first YouTube channel, I was working all the time, super busy, and I was spending less time with my wife. So when the very first Google AdSense payment came through and YouTube paid me my first ever paycheck, which I think was like $43 for like an entire month's of work, what did I do with that money? I bought something for my wife. Not because she was entitled to it, I mean, it was my work, but I wanted to celebrate together, so I bought her a little treat. It was like a snack that I thought she'd like, just as a way to say, hey, thanks for supporting me in my hobby.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, she wasn't... You literally could have taken this woman to, like, an Applebee's or some shit. Hell, come on, babe, we're going to Cookout. Like, something. It doesn't have to be expensive, but you can do something that's like, yay. I mean, like, maybe this woman's like, oh, let's split the money. Let's do something together with this money. Like, that's so, let's go on vacation or, you know, buy a thing we can both use or whatever. And, like, that maybe was like, no, it's my money. But, like, anything, I mean, you could fix up parts of the house, maybe use it as a down payment for a house. You could be like, no, we're going to put it away for a rainy day, but like we're going to use some of it to do this. You could invest that shit. First of all, if it's like new car kind of money, you should invest a lot of it and try to like build a portfolio. But like, you know, something just.
And then... Meanwhile, this guy is literally gambling with your money. And his response is, my money. Whoa, hold on. He said my win, my money, but it's not his win. It's partially your win. I can't believe he didn't, at minimum, go celebrate like just with a dinner. Hey, let me take you out to dinner, go to a nice place, get a nice lobster, steak, surf and turf, buy whatever drink you want. You know, like that'd be the normal human loving, caring reaction instead of treating you like some penny pinching gold digger, which you're not, by the way, because you've been giving him money. You're the opposite of a gold digger. OP, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. Your terrible ex gets 2 out of 5 buttholes. That was Rslash Am I the Butthole? And
yeah, that is just terrible. Like that doesn't. What are you on, my guy? Like, the fuck? How am I a gold digger when I've been funding this bad hobby of yours? I'm gonna be honest. Shit's not adding up, dude. But I'm the bad guy here? How does that make any sense? It makes none, in fact. Let's see.